Save the Semantics, episode 138. It is March 14, 2021. My name is Myro. This is the podcast where I ramble on for a bit about some shit, and then I dip. And that's the whole thing. That's usually how it goes. It's been a little while. It's been a few weeks since I last recorded. I've haven't really had the time or the energy to kind of just sit down and do this. And sometimes I just don't have anything to say. So it's just a combination of all those factors. Yeah, I've been busy. I've been working a lot. Today is like my one day off during the week, so I'm gonna try my best to actually relax to the best of my abilities. I go through like these periods where I'm like, or certain times where I'm just like I want to like chill and I want to like just sit down and watch something, but I just can't. Like I'm just too erratic. I don't know if that's the right word, but I'm too in my head about things, and I just want to keep like moving. So like I can't sit and do one thing. I feel like that's kind of been like a recent thing too, where I just can't really sit still and do one thing only. Like sit still and watch a movie. That's something I haven't done in a while, you know? Like the sort of like my ideal way to relax recently has been to like listen to a podcast while gaming. Like that I kind of need to have that. Like I need to be sort of like I need to be like stimulated like um both like audio I don't know if audibly is the right word, but through audio and through like visual with like gaming and stuff. And I can't. It's hard for me to like concentrate just on like one thing at a time, unless it's something engaging. But it just really that has not been kind of what I've wanted recently. So yeah, I haven't really sat down really and then gone through like a show. I mean that's it's been that way for a minute now. I haven't really committed to like a show or anything like that. So yeah, I don't know. It's been interesting. But this is sort of like my second time now, I guess, because the last time I went out was, I believe, the last time I recorded as well. So that's just sort of been my go-to for doing these, just whenever I'm like out and about, just kind of away from my workspace, because that's just sort of like not the best spot to be in if I want to do something like this. So I can just kind of get away from that, you know. Yeah, I've been working a lot. I'm not gonna lie, I've been working quite a bit. So I've been trying to find things to distract myself with. And it's kind of been hard just because like it's so much of my time has been put to work recently. I mean, this is just basic, it's what everybody goes through. I get that, but it's been hard for me to like put my mind on really anything else. So I'm trying to like, just take an actual break and not think about that shit. You know what I mean? So yeah, today's kind of been a nice little break. It's I think, is it daylight savings? I believe it's daylight savings today. So when I woke up, it was like 10:15 when it should have been 9 o'clock. I hate that, man. That shit sucks. Like, why the fuck, man? Why do we have that, like, still? It's just so, like, it's so disruptive, too, Like, an hour of sleep, is just kind of, it's so shitty. So, like, when I woke up this morning, it felt like I overslept when I really didn't. Like, I went to bed at, like, 12. And then so I would have woken up at like 9:15, which is, maybe a little oversleeping, 9 hours. But then it's like you tack on that extra hour, and it just feels like, fuck, man. I feel like I just fucking slept so much. I mean, it is better, I think, to oversleep than undersleep, right? I think if you go for a certain amount of days without sleep, you die. Like that's just the thing. So, um, yeah, I've just kind of yeah, not much else really. I these I've been kind of lacking sleep though these last couple of weeks just because of my own doing. I've kind of fucked myself over with um only getting like 6 to 6.5 hours of sleep during the week. Um, because I don't prioritize my time super well. Like I was a little more disciplined um earlier on this year before I got super busy, where I was actually getting like good sleep, and I was sort of like, oh yeah, no, and I feel pretty good about it. But recently I've just kind of, because I'm working like 9 to 10 hours a day, and then after that my sort of way of relaxing is to go and spend more time on the computer, like my own personal computer, and like watch YouTube for another couple of hours, and that's like not, I don't know. I don't know, like I'm trying to like, it's like what other way is there to relax? I mean, I could read and shit, but I just don't have like the mental capacity to like absorb shit, you know what I mean? Like I've been reading a little bit. I've been reading this one game called The Confidence Game, and it's been pretty interesting, but I'm only like 50 pages in, so I haven't really spent a whole lot of time on it, but pretty interesting. I want to try to sit down and actually read more, but it's just been, it's just not, it hasn't been like the ideal. I haven't been in like the ideal, you know, setting to really sit down and read this, or I just really haven't had the motivation to do it, among other things. So yeah, it hasn't been really a super healthy routine, to be completely honest. I think it's just been kind of like I could really use getting those 2 extra hours of sleep, so I have to be like a little more disciplined and set aside a time when I should actually go to sleep and then wake up and everything like that. So, and I also want to wake up earlier too. Like I've been waking up kind of later than usual, for me anyway. Um, I've been waking up like at 7-ish, 7:30-ish, which is a little late. I want to try to get up a little earlier so I can get more things done and actually feel prepared and not feel like I'm rushing to you know get ready for the day and shit. So I'm gonna try to do that tomorrow. I'm gonna try to get up a little earlier. I'm gonna try to go to bed a little earlier today too. I don't want to stay up too late, but we'll see how that goes. It's like I'm trying to like recapture some time for myself, if that makes any sense. I'm trying to get back the time that I might have lost, which doesn't, which I think I'm just trying to find more time to do certain things, but it ends up just being, more harmful than it is really super helpful. Like it doesn't really contribute too much of me enjoying myself. So yeah, I don't know. It's like how much more time. It's not like I'm really doing anything super, productive in a sense. I mean, that's a very, you know, that question that idea in itself kind of makes it seem like I'm wasting my time when it's not, because like I need that time to like relax and everything. It's like I don't know what more I could be to like what more I could do in order to be like, quote unquote productive. Like there's not much, I'm already working more than the average amount of time that I normally would. So like what difference does it really make for me being productive in a sense? doing something else. It's like do I have to really like produce something in my my free time? It's like I don't know why I'm putting that much pressure on myself to do that. Or why am I like kind of why is that sort of like the thing that I go to? Where does my mind go to, like me being wanting to like do something with my time? I think this is always going to be a thing. I feel where I'm just trying to figure out like the best way to spend my free time. I always like I kind of do struggle with that. Like I've noticed like even during college, like when I did have some time, I always kind of was like, I don't know what do I do with the time that I have? Like what hobbies can I like kind of pick up? And so I did some like random shit here and there, but it's hard for me. It's hard for me to like commit to like a single thing. Like the most that I've really committed to that's like a actual hobby was like radio, and I did that for a while. Like I'm surprised that I committed to it for so long, and I'm happy that I did. Like it pretty much brought to me doing this. Like now I feel more like comfortable just talking aloud to no one in particular. Like it's kind of a cool little thing that I sort of picked up from doing that. But then it's like, well, I don't know, I want to do other things too. I don't know what exactly. It's like I don't know if it's music or if it's just I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. It's hard to really put my finger on, but I think it's I say that because like I also kind of compare myself to other people where they have certain hobbies and that sort of thing. It's like, well, I kind of want to do that too. Like I kind of want to have sort of be like have like a well-rounded kind of life where I have these hobbies and then I'm able to kind of separate that from my work and everything, but it's never going to be like super ideal in a sense. There's always going to be certain like obstacles and shit. So I don't know. It's always going to be, I'm always going to have some kind of, um, it's always going to be a work in progress in the sense that I always have to kind of figure out like what I want to do with my time. And it's like, because it's like I could either spend this time, so say I have like, say it's like a work weekday and I just finished work, and it's like, maybe it's 9 o'clock or something. So I have to myself maybe a couple of hours to kind of relax and stuff. So then what do I do with that time? And like I said, recently it's just been kind of watching shit. I mean, that's just, I think that's normal. I don't know. That's not really, there's nothing wrong with that. I just think, maybe it's just me putting pressure on myself to do other things, to do more creative endeavors instead of just kind of sitting and watching shit. But I think I'm just kind of, I'm being hard on myself. There's just no really, there's no real, I don't know why I have to, push myself to do these things when it's just probably going to make me more unhappy than if I was, than if I was just by relaxing and watching something. So I don't know. It'll always be some kind of a predicament for sure. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I then that comes with kind of, this too. Do I want to like expand, cuz I've thought about what I wanted to do with this podcast for a while. I always am just like, what the, for the most part, it's really just been me just kind of journaling shit down, right? That's really sort of been the premise of this. And once in a while, I'll do something else. Um, but I've thought about what in the past, maybe this is like a couple of years ago where I was thinking about maybe expanding this into more of other shows, variety kind of talk show thing, sort of in the vein of what I did with when I was doing radio. But obviously, I don't really have the time for that, and it's a lot of effort for sure to seek out maybe guests and then kind of plot out a thing for me to follow through. It's that's effort for sure, and I don't know how much I'm willing to commit to that, and if it's worth if it's worth the time. I have to think about um, like my audience. I have to think about what kind of a show or what kind of topics I want to talk about, because I think with podcast interviews there's so many out there, right? There's comedy podcasts, there's these there's history podcasts, there's interview podcasts, there's just all these different things, and it's like, what kind of a thing do I want to do with it? I could do those are like a music talk show or movie talk show or whatever. Like there's a lot of things that I could do with it, but I don't. It's hard, right, to really pick and choose. And also, why would someone want to listen to this as opposed to another one where it's better produced? It's by someone who has experience doing that sort of thing, and has guests and a lot of other variables that help add some entertainment value to their product or whatever. So it's like, what can I do to kind of differentiate myself from the other stuff out there, right? Like there's just a lot of things that I have to like factor in. Or I could just fuck off and do my own thing and just like not care what other people think. I don't know. I'm just kind of, I'm all over the place with that. But I think just for the near future, this is basically what it's just going to be for now, right? I'm always just going to ponder shit. Whether I'm actually going to commit to something, I don't know. I really don't know for sure. It's just because I'm always just like thinking, things change. There's a lot of, there's a lot of circumstances that come up. So I don't know yet. But for now, it's just going to be me just kind of rambling about shit and being like, maybe I'll do this. And then not following through. But I don't know. I really don't know yet. It's just, I'm just speaking my mind on a bunch of stuff. I came out, I was expecting it to be kind of a nice day, and it turned out to be super cloudy, but whatever. It's alright. It's busy, man. God damn it, dude. I don't know if I'm not mad about it, but it's just like, it's more, every time I go out, it's just kind of like, it's sort of like it's a bit of a shock to see people out and about. Same thing as what happened last time, where it was sort of like my first time stepping outside in a minute. So this time it wasn't too much of a shock, but it's just kind of funny. I don't know. So I went and got some food. I just went in and out. Had this sandwich, which was pretty good, but I feel like I'm lacking vegetables. I need some fruit in my system. I need like a banana or something. I don't know. Need some antioxidants, right? So maybe I'll go get something like that. I'm trying to think about. I mean, obviously, this is kind of whatever, but thinking about eating, healthier and that sort of thing. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have anything to say to that. It's just kind of a thought that came to my mind. Yeah. I've been, yeah, like I said, I haven't really been watching anything in particular. Just YouTube shit, Twitch, right? Comfort shit. Stuff that's easy to watch. Doesn't really require too much commitment. That's just sort of been my go-to, really. Yeah, that's really it, honestly. I don't really have that much else to say. Oh, I can talk about I got this like smartwatch I don't know if I mentioned this last time, but I got this like smartwatch that tracks how many steps you put in. So it's like a what is it? What is that called? A Fitbit. It's pretty similar to a Fitbit, but it's sort of like an off-brand, offshoot version of it. So I've been using that whenever I do go out for like a run and stuff. I don't know how accurate it is because sometimes whenever I run, it sometimes feels like I run less than what the thing shows me. So say I go for a run, I record like maybe a couple of miles or something, but it feels a lot less than that. It feels like I ran maybe like a mile and a half instead of 2 miles. So I really don't know how accurate it is. Also, if I ever want to try to time myself, if I do intervals or miles, time like a timed mile, it's a little difficult to kind of do that because like the timer is kind of weird, and I have to like hold the button. Like it's not just one click and you're done. You have to like hold the button. So it's not gonna be super accurate when you finish like a mile or whatever interval that you're working on. So it's cool though. It's cool that it keeps track of that. One time I wore it when I went to bed, and it tracked my sleep, which is pretty interesting. So it told me when I went into deep sleep or um, if I was like a light sleeper, and so it showed kind of like ups and downs of when I was going into deep sleep and coming out of it. So that was pretty interesting. I haven't done it again just because it's a little uncomfortable just wearing that watch, but it was kind of cool to see that first time around. I might need it honestly just to just so I can be consistent with my sleep and sleep better. Like I mentioned, I just haven't slept super well, so maybe doing that would make me commit more to having a better sleep schedule. But we'll see. But so far it's been cool. It's been nice. I've never really tracked myself when I exercise. This is like the first time I've like set where I've kind of actually seen how much I've ran, and I can actually sort of plot you can kind of see the watch comes with like an app, or I had to download the app to supplement the watch so I could keep track of how much I've been exercising and that sort of thing. So yeah, pretty cool. I've been trying to be more consistent with running. I've been maybe like running on average maybe 3 days a week, just because like the weather, and I'm kind of a baby and I don't want to run in the rain. I don't want to get sick, just because I'm trying to avoid that at all costs, really. But yeah, that's like one. I think that's like one good sort of thing that I have going right now. But I need to improve my sleep for sure. Will I commit to a hobby where I will be fulfilled? I don't know. I really don't know. We'll see. We'll see. That's it's always going to be a predicament, but just a work in progress, like everything else. That's going to do it for today. This has been Save the Semantics, signing off.